how are you doing?
Good. Can I start by seeing your ID?
There are some major changes taking place at election sites across Iowa. For the first time ever, you will now be required to show a valid form of ID in order to vote. This change is coming in phases, so let's break it down. Beginning in 2018, you will need to show identification at the polls. There are 6 different forms of valid ID. Those include an Iowa driver's license, an Iowa non-operator's ID, a military ID, a veteran's ID, passport, or a new state-issued voter ID card.
Go ahead and scan your ID.
Okay. Oh, driver's license, okay?
Is it from the state of Iowa?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, and can I take a look at it?
The Secretary of State issued and mailed out over 120,000 state-issued voter ID cards for all registered voters who do not have an ID issued through the Iowa Department of Transportation. If you did not receive a voter ID card and don't have any of the other forms of identification we listed, you need to contact your county auditor. They can also assist you if you lost or misplaced your ID card. Once you've received a voter ID card, sign it and place it in a safe location. So what happens if you show up on election day without an ID? In 2018, the voter ID law only takes partial effect. During this year only, anyone without the necessary identification will be asked to sign an oath verifying their identity. That person will still be allowed to cast a regular ballot.
Here's your ballot. You can just take it over there, fill it out, and once you're done voting, you can take it over to that tabulator and put your voted ballot in there.
The law takes full effect January 1st, 2019. Then, if voters don't have a required form of ID, they have a few options. First option is to bring an attester with you, meaning a person who is willing to attest to the voter's identity. An attester must be able to provide one of the accepted forms of ID. By signing the document, the attester accepts that providing false information is a Class D felony, punishable by potential jail time and a fine between $750 and $7,500. The second option is to provide proof of identity and proof of residency, the same as if registering to vote for the first time. Proof of identity can include out-of-state driver's license or an employer or student ID with an expiration date. Proof of residency is typically a utility bill, lease, or pay stub. If neither of those options work, the voter may cast a provisional ballot, which will only be counted if the voter can provide a valid ID before the Monday after an election. We've gone over the different ways to vote in person, but absentee ballots also now require an ID. Beginning in 2018, part of the request form for an absentee ballot requires you to include a driver's license number or non-driver's ID number. Those with voter ID cards must include their card's 4-digit PIN number. You can download the application for absentee voting online, but it must be filled out and returned to your county auditor in order for a ballot to be mailed to you. Or you can complete absentee voting in person at your county auditor's office during the allotted time period. Another change coming in 2018 is a shorter window for absentee voting. The number of days to vote absentee in person is now 29 days, which is condensed from the previous 40-day window. And if you're requesting to receive your ballot by mail, the request form must be received by the county auditor's office by the Friday 11 days before the election. When the request is for a general election, it must be turned in by the Saturday 10 days before the election. So it's important to be aware of the deadlines to get registered and take advantage of absentee voting. These changes will impact all Iowans, so make sure your voice is heard by understanding them in advance of the next election cycle. The Secretary of State website lists all the rules and deadlines. Just head to sos.iowa.gov. Another great resource is the Iowa State Association of County Auditors. There you can find voting information, as well as contact information for your local county auditor's office. And if you need assistance with translation services or have accessibility concerns, you can reach out to your county auditor to make arrangements. By following these tips, you can make sure that your voice is heard. Be informed, be prepared, and participate.